Welcome to ThinkTech on OC16, Hawaii's weekly newscast on things that matter to tech and to Hawaii. I'm your host, Nicole Hori.
And I'm your co-host, Maria Kashem.
In our show this time, we'll take a look at some movies made by the students in Dr. Pete Brito's class at HPU.
Pete's class gave us several movies. We don't have time to play them all, but here are some clips we've selected to show you.
There's so much going on in Hawaii, it's difficult to track down every single event. Today, we'll be checking out some of the major ones that have recently taken place on the island. Hey there! Nicole and I were just talking about all the different events that happen around Hawaii.
There's so much that goes on around here, so we wanted to give you a quick glance at some of the major events that happen in the month of October.
Apple has always been at the top of the market when it comes to today's modern technologies. They're well known for being the best innovators of tomorrow and always changing things up in their software and hardware. One of the recent major updates they've introduced is the new mobile operating software, iOS 7.
iOS 7 became available for download on September 18, 2 days before the iPhone 5S and 5C were released. Apple's Senior Vice President of Design, Jonathan Ive, said their goal in iOS 7 was to make it simpler and faster. The design and aesthetics are meant to be simple, useful, enjoyable, yet still feel instantly familiar.
I actually learned some new things that I can apply to my very own iPhone. That makes two of us. Definitely. In fact, I used this same phone to take pictures a couple weeks ago at the 19th annual Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure.
We're going to take you to Kapiolani Park now to talk about this inspirational event.
I was given the opportunity to cover the event and speak with some of the courageous survivors. Prepare to be inspired. The park is filled with swarms of pink for everyone showing their support for the 19th annual Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. Over 6,000 people gathered at Kapiolani Park on Sunday, October 20th. Together, survivors, supporters, and volunteers raised more than $60,000 from the race. The Big Pink Party is an event for people of all ages. Although the event is for a serious cause, the race is to liven up the moment. The traditional Chinese dragon dance, along with playful pink attire, made the fundraiser a festive celebration. So one of the sponsors, New Balance, is handing out these under-eye little patches for Keep Your Eye on the Cure. It's a fun way to show your support. So let's put these on and get ready for the big race. Remember, doing something for a good cause doesn't always have to be boring, especially at this Big Pink Party.
It was really great to be at the Race for the Cure. Hope to see you all at the next one.
We're going to be making the change and heading down from here to Waikiki, where one of the biggest events of October is held.
Halloween. Tons of people dress up for this day, but for an entirely different reason. It's the craziest day in October.
Our good friend, Keita Ueno, got down to business capturing some of the hottest spots in Hawaii to celebrate the holiday.
Halloween is quite the most interesting holiday here in Waikiki. Now, let's go out and see what the party is like.
And there's a tourist from Japan, dressing very stereotypically. Oh, they even brought their samurai swords with them. How cool. Yep, those tourists are pretty crazy. And girls that actually dress up scary for once. Now it's the M Club. This is a whole new different story of partying. There's lots of lights. Yes, lights. Oh, there's more lights.
We learned so much today about all the events going on around us. Don't stay cooped up inside your home. Get outside and enjoy every day in the beautiful Hawaii nei.
I'm Tori Langley.
And I'm Davis Cobb. Today's program is all about the human essentials, food and drink. There's nothing worse than a parched mouth in downtown. So let's remedy that with Jeff the Bearded Dragon as he quenches his thirst in downtown's newest watering hole.
Today, we visit a brand new shop. So let's go over to Extract and check it out. You can remind your mom that you eat your fruits and vegetables. Actually, drink them.
Remember, kids, juice the right way, not the Arnold way.
Up next, we've got our very own Davis Kopp taking us to a magical land called Chinatown.
A few blocks from 4th Street lies a world the average college student may not experience. This is Chinatown. It isn't your typical college quad, but the architecture is old-timey and gives us a slice of early Hawaii. And the dining room is eclectic and vibrant. Say goodbye to Spaghetti Mondays and Taco Tuesdays. Actually, Taco Tuesdays still happens, so you don't have to say goodbye to that. As one of the oldest Chinatowns in the United States, this cultural landmark offers students insanely good food, tons of hangout spots, and of course, that cray-cray nightlife.
After a long day downtown, give yourself a power nap and you're ready to hit the night. First stop, Honolulu Night Market. Take us there, Ashley.
Thanks, Tori. I'm here at the Honolulu Night Market here in Kaka'ako, which happens every third Saturday of every month. There's a lot of local vendors, some good eats, and a lot of good entertainment for everyone.
This is my third time here at the Honolulu Night Market. I really like it just because it's really like artsy. Everyone's really stylish and it's cool. It's cool to look at everything and eat the food. Food's awesome. Why should an HPU student come here? You know what? It's really good like networking, I'd say. You can meet a lot of really cool people and just enjoy local arts and local food.
Eric Fitzmaurice, me and my friends back here, we're starting this company, cold pressed juice. Right now this is our menu, real simple, just to start off. Our next juice is gonna be with Nalo Farms. We're gonna make a Nalo juice. And then after this event, we're gonna get into the farmers markets. So we're gonna be doing like a Ma'o juice and a Nalo juice.
There's a lot of vendors, a lot of food, different things, people I haven't even heard of. It's nice that everybody's together and you kind of get a good feel of, you know, like what the different vendors are about.
What's up? My name is John Full. I'm from Palolo Valley. I am the owner of Oahu Grown Clothing. The way I started Oahu Grown Clothing, when I went to college, I went away from the islands and I went to Corvallis, Oregon to go to school. When I went up there, I got really homesick and it really showed me like how important Hawaii is and you know how much I missed it. When I was up there, you know, I really like needed to be using, wearing, you know, Hawaiian products, you know, eating Hawaiian food, wearing Hawaiian t-shirts.
I had such a great time tonight at the Honolulu Night Market. There was so much good food to eat and a lot of cool stuff to see. Hopefully I'll see you next month, but back to you, Tori.
Next up, we're gonna truck on over to Kakuako and grab a bite to eat with Gretchen.
Get ready and switch into those eating pans as we head on over to Eat the Streets Kaka'ako. It is a family-friendly event that's held on the last Friday of every month, featuring Hawaii's food trucks, or as the locals call them, lunch wagons. Tonight, they are celebrating Hawaii's taco and local favorite, the musubi. There are over 40 vendors getting creative and putting their twist on this local favorite.
We had a great program today, talking to people at Extract, in Chinatown, at the Honolulu Night Market, and at Eat the Street.
A very big mahalo to all of the vendors and business owners for making downtown such a vibrant part of Hawaii. Special thanks to all the cast and crew for making today's show possible. If you want more, and believe me, you're going to want more, check out hawaiipacificnews.com.
My name is Kahio Beamer, and I'm from Wahiawa, Hawaii, Oahu. Since I was a little kid, that's probably the only thing I was good at in school. I wasn't going to be a doctor, and I was not going to be an athlete, so I pursued art, and it's been working out so far. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it continues to work out, and I don't got to get more real jobs. I guess a lot of illustrators. I have my degree in illustration, so going through the history of illustration, I guess it would be like Leyendecker, Norman Rockwell, Rackham, Jack Kirby, a lot of comic book illustrators. But then there's also artists from here like Solomon Enos, Carl Powell, and a lot of the people I work with around here in the studio are a major influence on me, just working around professionals consistently. Well, as far as my characters and stuff with graffiti, that came from the Bay. I went to school in Oakland and San Francisco, and graffiti in the Bay Area is a lot more playful, is what it's known for, really legible. They have a funk style that definitely influenced my art. And just moving on from there, I developed different things that you work with things and see what people react to.
My name is Solomon Enos. I am originally from the west side of Oahu, born and raised in Makaha Valley, and I'm an artist, illustrator. So about a couple years ago, kind of the word got out to the community, to the local art community, that there was going to be a large movement of art happening in Kaka'ako, and one of the first things we heard about was powwow. And I said, oh, wait a second. Important thing was art happening in community. And myself and the other artists that we've been working with have just been like, well, we got to support that. What we're seeing here is a depiction of the fish ponds. And that if you were in Kaka'ako 500 years ago, anywhere in Kaka'ako, you could take 2 large steps to the left and leap, and you'd be in fresh water or brackish water, or you'd be in a nice, it's almost like it would have been a city of swimming pools, because these areas were all fish ponds.
I am Mike Love, and I'm a musician. Life is my biggest influence, my family, my friends, the experiences of life is what I write about. Yeah, everything that I see, everything that I do, the lessons that I learn. Sometimes the lessons that I learn come through the music, so yeah, everything I write about, everything. It's all inspiration. I think that, my first album, The Change I'm Seeking, there's a lot of pretty heavy stuff on it, and I think that this new album is a little bit lighter.
I have admired Bloodwater Mission and the amazing work they're doing for many years. They build wells, repair existing ones, and bring hope to people across Africa. I decided that this was the year to turn my passion into action. I began to call the most talented people I know, and it turns out I know a lot of talented people. Every artist wanted to help. I not only wanted to raise funds, but also raise awareness, so I planned an evening of art and compassion, and Well and Good was born. I chose a handcrafted cup made from the earth as a symbol of water and life, and local artists donated dozens of their little works of art, all for this cause. An eclectic group of more than 60 people from all over the island came together that night, opening their hearts, their wallets, and a world of possibilities for community in Africa. Together, we raised $3,612 because everyone deserves clean water.
To get background on these movies and the class, we had a discussion with Pete Brito.
The way that we look at writing for media is that we use it as a metaphor. So if you're shooting films and video, or you're doing audio recordings, or you're doing animation, those are forms of writing. So writing for new media New media is a bit ambiguous, and perhaps rightfully so. New media can be whatever's new at that particular time. So this is the kind of course that constantly updates its technology.
It's a moving target.
It's a moving target, exactly. So students come in, and part of the course is set on traditional media, and some of it includes the stuff that's just coming up through the pipeline. So we've been doing the writing for new media, Hawaii Pacific News, for the past 4 or 5 years. And what it entails in part is that students come in and we really take seriously the writing component of creating media. There is reality television that is loosely scripted, but in general, if you want to have a halfway decent product, you have writers involved because you need a blueprint, you need a template. That's the way that you can do complex collaborative endeavors.
Yeah.
So you get a script, and then you go forward. So we write or we create media in several different kinds of genres. For example, we have a HPN, Hawaii Pacific News television magazine show. And from the very beginning of the semester, the students know that part of their job this semester is to conceptualize, to write, to produce, and to edit television magazine shows. And as you know, the television magazine show gets that name in part from the magazine template. If you open up to the table of contents of the magazine, you have various kinds of articles that you're going to go take a look at, and then you can shuffle through them. So usually what happens is we do like a half-hour show, but that will entail at least 3 or 4 different segments. And so students will conceptualize, they'll say what they want to do.
To get the students' perspective, we talked to one of the students in Dr. Brito's class, Jenna Rodriguez.
It was one of the most rewarding experiences I've ever had with school in general. I didn't really know what to expect going into the class. I had Pete for another semester, and he was a great professor, so I was really excited going into the class. And when he said that we were going to put on a full production, I was so excited. And usually as a student, group projects aren't really as exciting, but we all worked together, and as a group we had so much fun. And since it was a multimedia class, everyone had their niche. We had writers, we had cameramen, we had producers, and we all came together and worked together as a team. And it was one of the most exciting and rewarding things that I've ever done. I really learned everything that goes into creating a segment, a new segment. From the production to the writing the script to editing and just an all around. Pete was he was there when we needed his help, but he really just let us be creative and let us do whatever we wanted to do and let us kind of take our ideas and go with it. And my producer Tyler decided that we were going to film our segment on location, and that was so much fun. We went on a little adventure, and we shot in Kapilani Park, we shot in Waikiki, we went to Ala Moana. I got to report and anchor for our new segment. And when I held that mic and when I was saying my lines, it reassured me that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And when I said, Jenna Rodriguez reporting to you for Hawaii Pacific News, I gave myself the chills, and it was almost a sign as you're taking the right path. Continue with school, keep taking your journey, and you're going to get there.
We think it's great that HPU and Pete Britos teach movie making this way.
Hollywood has more choices than ever before for locations to film. Since we're more expensive, we need to give bigger incentives, not only for Hollywood's filmmakers, but for our own too.
Yes, we have the weather, the breathtaking environment, the diverse and creative people, and most of all, we have a million untold stories about our extraordinary melting pot.
We need to build a battalion of well-trained writers, producers, directors, actors, camera operators, and editors.
If we really want to build an industry, we need to fund and build another, much larger studio.
Some say it's too late for Hawaii to get in on the movie business, and that the opportunity has already passed us by. But we disagree.
The movies from HPU are much more than class projects. They represent quality local education in filmmaking. They represent interested students and inspiring teachers.
Those interested in progress for our state should press the point and demand that state government and our elected representatives take bold steps to grow the industry. We live in a world where movies reach everyone, and in a world that produces and requires more movies and movie expertise every day.
We've come a long way since the movies Hawaiian Love and The Shark God were filmed on Oahu in 1913. And this is the time to come together and set the foundation for our next 100 years. The kids at HPU are depending on it. And now, let's take a look at our ThinkTech calendar of events going forward.
ThinkTech streams video and audio for all of our shows live on the internet from 1 to 5 p.m. every weekday afternoon, and we replay them all night long on Ustream.tv. Visit ThinkTechHawaii.com for our live stream and YouTube links. Raise your awareness on ThinkTech. And now, here's Bill Spencer, president of the Hawaii Venture Capital Association, with this week's Spensation.
There was a headline in the Honolulu Star Advertiser about the university, and that is the subject of your Spensation, yeah?
It is, Jay. It's an astounding headline that reflects a sort of a chronic problem that the university has had for going on a couple of decades now. There's an interest in giving the university $500 million needed to take care of a backlog of maintenance and repair issues that have been building up over the years. The heads of both Senate and House committees essentially don't want to do that. The governor's budget offers $200 million, but the head of the university's maintenance organization is saying he doesn't want the money because he can't even handle the workload that they've got before them, which includes not only renovations and maintenance backlog, but also new construction. And the issue for him is a lack of about 95 positions, which seems hard, in these days where everybody's looking for jobs. I mean, how come they can't fill 95 positions in this organization? Here we are again with a university that's got a dreadful physical plant that needs a lot of updates, and they just can't seem to get the job done. And now, the reason I'm concerned about this is simply because, we can't have a world-class university when the classrooms and the buildings are falling apart. I was just at Stanford in Palo Alto last month, and that campus is immaculate. There's new construction, new buildings, just a stunning example of what we could aspire to.
With any backlog, you have the fact that people weren't working on it before, by definition, inherent in the term backlog. And this is not something that came up yesterday. This is something that's going on for decades. We have, not funded maintenance. It seems to me that the legislature could and should afford the money necessary to bring the university current on these things. And until we do that, we're going to have a second-class physical plant. And as you say, Bill, I agree totally that you can't have a first-class university with a second-class physical plant. We've got to belly up to it. We've got to raise the money. We've got to fund this effort, and we should do it right now.
I agree, Jay.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
We'll be right back to wrap up this week's edition of ThinkTech. But first, we want to thank our underwriters.
Hawaiian Electric Company and its affiliates, Maui Electric and Hawaii Electric Light Company on Hawaii Island, are deeply committed to the communities they serve.
Galen Ho is a senior executive of BAE Systems, a global defense, security, and aerospace company.
The High Tech Development Corporation, the state's leading technology agency attached to the Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism.
Castle & Cook Hawaii, with a time-honored legacy that spans more than 160 years and revolves around its mission of investing in Hawaii, creating communities, and providing for the needs of our state.
Hawaii Gas, formerly the Gas Company, a proponent of the Liquefied Natural Gas Initiative, helping Hawaii achieve its transition to clean energy and a better energy future.
Collateral Analytics, a Hawaii-based tech company empowering the real estate industry with greater and faster access to the tools and data they need to make better informed property investment decisions.
The Foreign Trade Zone, operated by the Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism, encourages international trading in Hawaii and brings the benefits of the Foreign Trade Zone program to Hawaii businesses and entrepreneurs.
Okay, Maria, that wraps up this week's edition of ThinkTech. Remember, you can watch ThinkTech on OC16 several times every week. Can't get enough of it, just like Jay Fidel does. For additional times, check out oc16.tv.
Totally, Nicole. For lots more ThinkTech videos and for underwriting and sponsorship opportunities on ThinkTech on OC16, visit thinktechhawaii.com, be an underwriter, a sponsor, or a volunteer, and help us reach Hawaii.
I'm Nicole Hori. Thanks so much for joining us on ThinkTech. You can watch this show throughout the week and tune in next Sunday evening for our next important weekly episode. Aloha, everyone.
I'm Maria Kashem. Happy New Year!